Hello and welcome to the 22 Justice Accelerator Demo Day. My name is Iran Huffels and I am your host today. I serve as the Accelerator Program Manager at HiiL. First, for the opening remarks, we're going to Ronald Lenz, the Director of the Justice Accelerator. Ronald?
Dear audience, welcome to Demo Day. I'm so happy to welcome you to this online event. And I see you've come from many different parts of the world. At HiiL, we're all about people-centered justice. That means justice that is affordable, accessible, and easy to understand. It's a type of justice that focuses on the outcomes that people want, not on institutions and procedures. And our mission here at HiiL is to help 150 million people prevent or resolve their most pressing justice problems by 2030. And for that, of course, we need innovation. A key ingredient to HiiL's way of working is the Justice Accelerator, our startup program that supports the next generation of justice entrepreneurs that build and scale services that transform the justice sector. To close the justice gap, we need to do more than improve the current systems. We need to innovate and bring new services to scale that can prevent or resolve justice problems for everybody. Startups are a key driver in this transformation of the justice sector. They can come up with breakthrough ideas that large institutions often struggle with. So in the last 10 years, we've run the accelerator across Africa, the Middle East, and Ukraine, together with our local innovation hubs and supporting 139 startups in total to date. This group of change makers has approached the justice challenge in their countries, all in their own unique way. They help solve issues in the workplace, between spouses, for small businesses, between neighbors. They protect citizens against fraud and crime, and so much more. And together, they impact millions of people each year. And for that reason, every year, we launch our Innovating Justice Challenge, looking for the startups with the highest potential to be game changers in their communities, their cities, and in their countries. So again, I'm incredibly humbled to have you all here. Welcome. And of course, beyond excited for the startups. Now let me hand it over to my colleague, Iran, again. Enjoy, have fun.
Thank you, Ronald. Today, we're going to hear 16 90-second pitches from our founders. But first, we're going to hear the pitch from HiiL on justice innovation from our CEO, Sam Muller.
It's nice that we could make vacuum cleaners user-friendly, but we think justice is a little bit more urgent. We're HiiL. We're friendly rebels who are passionate about social impact. We aim to empower 150 million people to prevent or resolve their most pressing justice problems by 2030. Why? Each year, 1 billion people have a new justice problem. And shockingly, over 70% of those people do not find a satisfactory solution. 30% don't even feel empowered enough to take action. This has a high impact on their lives and on society, from violence to seriously damaged relationships and business conflicts. To make a long story short, justice does not deliver what people need in their most difficult moments. The problem is that we're still using the same models developed in past centuries. It makes the process of getting justice today slow, tough, difficult, and very expensive. But you know what? Basic justice care for everyone is possible. With data and technology, we co-create high-quality justice based on what we need now. We at HiiL call it user-friendly justice. It's justice that is affordable, accessible, and easy to understand. It's justice that works.
Today, we conclude the 2021 Innovating Justice Challenge. Last year in March, we launched the Innovating Justice Challenge 2021, and here we are today for the day that our cohort of startups from across the four corners of the African continent and Ukraine share their achievements with you. You get to know them and find out what they have achieved and where they want to go. But first, I would like to share with you a glimpse into these innovators and the coaches who have supported them along the way.
La Marsa in Tunisia.
I'm filming this from Nairobi, Kenya.
We're filming from Kyiv.
The reason why we joined the HiiL Justice Accelerator program is because we believe we shared the same vision, which is providing people with access to justice.
We joined the Justice Accelerator for the support and guidance of the experts in the program.
The main goal is advance our startup to high level.
To understand how to scale, to be sustainable with justice innovation that we were creating.
We joined the Justice Accelerator to know something new about legal tech, to get the grant and be in the entrepreneurial environment.
To me, justice innovation represents meshing the need and what can be done and bringing the two together in a way that serves the people and places control in their hands.
New mindset and new technology that can resolve all judicial problems.
We have a great cohort this year with different business models
who have decided to defy different kind of challenges and still provide impacts to their customer segments.
I've had also the chance to see amazing innovations that have come through that really do live up to the very essence of our work. People-centered, user-friendly.
I'm really excited to meet people in the community who are supporting this cause.
To showcase our project and to see what's cooking in the region.
We are looking forward for Demo Day and we expect a great atmosphere in this day.
So cheers to all our Justlers. You are all going to rock.
I'm absolutely convinced that you're going to go on and do even bigger and better and more amazing things.
All the best in your Demo Day.
Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Okay, let's get started. Let me tell you what will happen in the next 3.5 hours. Firstly, let's wait for you to be inspired. There will be 16 pitches today, each of them 90 seconds, followed by 2 minutes of Q&A by the judges. Why the judges? Because today we will also find out who the winners of the 22 Innovating Justice Challenge are. The judges that we have, the 3 of them, will select the startups' top 3 winners based on different criteria. For example, their team, their impact, how well they are solving people's justice problems, how many people they are reaching, what their solution is, and how innovative it is compared to others who are solving the same problem. They will also look at the financial sustainability of the startups and how well these startups are able to continue their activities and to solve people's justice problems and keep their customers happy. The top 3 winners will also win cash prizes, 20,000 euros, 10,000 euros, and 5,000 euros. And at the end of the demo day, we will come together for the announcement to find out who the winners are. Stay tuned for that and everything in between. Let me first introduce you to the judges. We have first Jackie Naktakal. Jackie is coming to us from Cape Town. Jackie is a qualified futurist and a lawyer. She is the CEO of Law for All. Law for All is a social enterprise company, an award-winning company that makes justice accessible and includes people in delivering justice services. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, very excited for this event. Let's go and meet our other jury member. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Duncan Onyango. Duncan is coming to us from beautiful Nairobi. Duncan has 30 years of experience in large-scale investment across East Africa. Duncan is currently the CEO of Pharaoh Ventures. He is also the board director of Africa Enterprise Challenge Fund. Hi, Duncan.
Hi, Iran. How are you?
Hi, very good, very good.
Right, it's good to see
Let's
you
go
guys.
and meet our third jury member. We're going to Zurich. We're going to meet Joseph Nyam. Joseph, throughout his career, has been at the intersection of innovative and sustainable investment. Currently, he's a managing partner of Calmus Capital, which is a finance advisory that focuses on how investors can integrate sustainability into their investment strategies. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Ron. Hi, everyone. Good luck today.
Hello. Okay, before we get to the pitches, which I'm sure everyone is very excited about, let me tell you about how you can engage with us today. Firstly, our event is being live streamed on Facebook. So if you are joining us from Facebook, make sure to add your comments, interact with each other, and also with us. And for those of you on AirMeet, there are plenty of opportunities for us to engage with each other. Firstly, you can add to the chat, which you will find on the right-hand side. You can submit questions to the Q&A. You can upvote your questions, so to make sure that they are addressed. We will also put out polls throughout the day, so stay tuned for that to engage with us. All of this is on the right-hand side of your page. Now, on the top, you will find lounges. That is where you go if you need any help. Please go to the lounge, to the help desk, take a seat, and someone will help you there. At the lounges, also, you will find many networking opportunities during the networking break. We invite you to engage in those conversations that are inspiring and also just plain fun. At the top, you will also find booths. Now, that is where our startup booths are. At the startup booths, you will find the pitches. You will also have the chance to have one-on-one conversation with our founders if they're available. You can register your interest so that you can have conversations with them also after demo day. Now, one last thing. There is a trophy on the top right next to my schedule. On that trophy, we have this thing called a leaderboard. Now, that is where we will register, or you will register, depending on how engaged you are throughout the event, the points that you collect. At the end of the event, we will come together and we will announce the winner of the most engaged participant. And these participants will get 2 months of paid subscription to Masterclass, which is an e-learning platform. Now, without further ado, let's get to the pitches. First, we're going to East Africa. On the top of your page, on the right-hand side, you should be seeing an alert. It's the bell. It will guide you to the East Africa session. Please follow that, and I will see you shortly in the East Africa session. Welcome to the East Africa session. We're going to Nairobi. Nairobi, following Lagos in 2021, was the most leading city in investment for startups across Africa, of course. This is according to Startup Blink, which is an ecosystem mapping and research center. HiiL also conducted in Kenya in 2017. We learned that 65% of people experience justice problems. 81% took action to resolve it, but only 46% partially or completely resolved their justice issues. In the chat box, you will see a link that will take you to that report, the Justice Needs and Satisfaction Survey from Kenya. The startups that we have today, the 4 startups from Kenya, address the justice problems in the country. First, we're going to Know Your Right Africa, KYR, which is tackling the legal issues through advice and education. We're going to Wahika Muturi in Nairobi.
Did you know there are over 600 million blue-collar African workers with unmet justice needs? Well, I bet you didn't. Like many other African families, we lost property to our relatives when my father passed away. Also, during the Kenya post-election violence, we were unable to seek any justice redress for property damaged. My name is Wahiga K. Muturi, co-founder and CEO of Know Your Rights Africa. KYR Africa is a social justice platform seeking to provide access to blue-collar workers with affordable, user-friendly, civic and justice education. We are a team of 6 with a composed year of experience of 40 in the industries of communication, media, business, and technology. Since October 2020, and with funding from HiiL, we have been able to raise our users to 250,000, go into 4 countries, and raise our revenue to $39,000 US. This also means we have been able to impact over 360 communities within youth, women, and persons with disabilities. We operate on a freemium basis, allowing customers to actually gain content for free, but we also earn revenue from Google Ads, training and partnerships, and also premium calls and texts. We are asking for a 50,000 USD grant, impact grant, to allow us to continue marketing, staffing, and working on our mobile app development. This means we'll also move into 8 countries, increase our revenue options, and also have over 100,000 user base in every country of operation.
My cup is there. Okay, we have Wahiga there and also the judges. Judges, what questions do you have for Wahiga?
Hi, Wahiga. Can I just ask you one question quickly?
Yes, please.
Very nice presentation. I just
Thank
want
you
to know,
very
you
much.
say you are going to move into more African countries. Which ones are you targeting?
We're planning to move into, do I mention all of them?
Yeah, just give me a sense of where you are
Okay,
focusing on.
we're moving into Rwanda, Abuja, DRC, that will be Zimbabwe, and then Mauritius, those are the 5, and then into Ghana, Accra, and Malawi in Lilongwe.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from Duncan or Joseph?
Yes, I've got a question for Wahiga. Thanks for that presentation. I just wanted to just look at the issue of competition. You've actually mentioned that your competition is legal NGOs, etc. But I was just wondering whether you've actually considered the role of unions in this type of engagement with blue-collar workers, and how that impacts your growth plans as a business.
Yes, we have actually looked at them, but as a partner more than a competitor, because if we partner with them, then they give us more numbers instead of competing with them. We don't need to compete with people who we can actually work with.
Great presentation. Just one question, well, a couple of questions from me in terms of your future revenue streams. You mentioned Google Earth and some other, apart from grants, but what other type of revenue streams do you have in mind that you would want to explore? And to what extent are you going to be partnering up with other legal services that might provide revenue in that case?
Oh, great. So number one, we would like to actually go into media content and licensing, which will actually take us to mainstream TV, and that will be very good. Margins are pretty high. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
You froze for a second.
Wahiga, if you could quickly respond to the question.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Can you hear me, Joseph? Oh, great. Oh, great. So number one,
Wahiga, we can't hear you.
Would actually to still. Wow. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Great. Number one, let me continue. We'll go into media content and licensing. And because the margins are pretty high. Then number two, we'll continue pushing the Google ads and licensing with actually Google Africa, because we've already discussed with them a few features to work with them on the same, especially including fact checking. And then number three, would actually do a partnership with one of the telecoms in Kenya and East Africa, especially. We've already contacted them and they would like us to continue a conversation on the same. And last but not least, I would actually take a position as an official CEO on paper,
so that we are actually able to penetrate the market as a law firm. So I will actually nearly demote myself on shares and then allow a lawyer to come in specifically because the market is very, very, very segmented.
Okay.
Yes.
Wahiga, thank you. Thank you for the response. We're going to move on to our next pitch. We're going to hear from Upesi, which actually helps with emergency situations. In Kenya, we know that personal accidents and injuries count for the top 10, one of the top 10 most serious justice problems in the country. Let's go to Vincent Awino to hear from about Upesi.
Fewer than 1% of Kenyans have access to reliable emergency response services. Government service is inadequate, and there's a lack of integration of emergency services. Upesi is changing this with a mobile app that connects people to reliable emergency response services. Since launching in July 2019, we've partnered with top emergency service providers such as G4S, St. John Ambulance, and the 911 Group. We are bringing together the best providers and all the emergency response services on a single platform for a more coordinated and better response. Users subscribe at a monthly or annual fee for emergency response services offered by a network of providers. Upesi retains 25% of the subscription fee. With our current user base of 8,000 active users, we intend to onboard a further 50,000 within the next 2 years, then target Uganda and Tanzania. We are the only platform that combines emergency response services in security, ambulance, and road rescue, and further hosts the majority of the service providers. We are asking for a $150,000 investment that will go into sales, marketing, and product development. This will see us generate monthly revenues of $55,000 by the third year. Led by Eric and I, Vincent, we lead a team of 4 engineers, a sales and marketing executive, and with support from a board of directors that include an industry, a financial, and a legal expert. Thank you.
Okay, Vincent. Judges, what questions do you have for Vincent?
Okay, I'll go, Vincent.
Hi, how are you?
Great, good in you, thanks. Vincent, explain to me one thing about what your subscription fee is, and then if you are subscribed to your service, do you also have to be subscribed to all the users that you have?
Okay, so the subscription fee, it's users can go for a monthly fee or annual fee. So like I mentioned earlier, we support all services in one. So there's security, there's ambulance, and there's road rescue. So they come in different packages, or users can go for the one package. So to give an example, for security, it's about $15 a month, and that can go for the entire year and can be discounted. For ambulance, it's about $30 a year, but users also have the option to combine all in one package. So what we've learned from our users is what they want to go for is the full package for all matters emergency, which is relatively affordable from the traditional alarm systems that are there at present. If I got, okay. You can repeat.
Thanks, Chris. We've got less than a minute to go. Any questions from Joseph or Duncan?
Yes. A quick question. Could you give us a flavor for your go-to market? Who are you partnering up with to access the number of users? Are you talking to insurance companies or other types of facilitators? And how's your expansion plan accordingly?
All right. So what we've done, we've partnered with the top emergency providers. So some of them are like G4S, St. John Ambulance, the 911 Group, and we are bringing the best providers and all the emergency response services in one. So the expansion plan is we expand with our partners. For example, G4S is currently in 80% of all African countries. So with us starting with them in Kenya, we are looking to extend to Uganda and Tanzania within the next 2 years, and then extrapolate this to other African countries as we grow with our partners. So it makes it much easier, it makes it more flexible and scalable.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to our next pitch. In Kenya, we know that crime at 20% is the most serious justice issue, particularly theft. Windex system is tackling this justice issue. We're going to Chris Kago from Nairobi. Chris.
I'm Chris from Windex Systems, a company where we specialize in customizing GPS trackers specifically for use by Kenya's 1.5 million motorcycle taxi operators who frequently experience theft of this important asset with no means of tracking or recovering it. So, when we install our customized device on a motorcycle, the owner makes use of our web and mobile application to remotely monitor, track, and recover it easily and safely in the event of theft. Should this device be removed from the motorcycle, it cannot be driven. We charge $70 for this installation and service, and also $20 annually for the application. Since September 2019, we have over 500 active devices on our platform. In that period, 35 of them have been reported stolen, but we have successfully recovered 34 of them, which otherwise would have been completely lost. We are a team of 4 individuals with expertise ranging from electronic engineering, marketing, and business development. With $20,000, we will onboard 1,000 more motorcycle riders by partnering with the motorcycle vending shops in the major urban areas in the country where this crime is most common. Our goal is to protect this important means of livelihood for the motorcycle operators and to enable them to provide a continuous service for their customers. Thank you.
Okay, Chris. Hi, Chris. Let's hear from the judges. Go ahead, Jackie, Duncan, or Joseph.
Sure, I'll jump in. Chris, thanks so much. Can you maybe give us a flavor for what are the biggest challenges you've had and difficulties, especially in terms of actual resolution and instant practice, right at the end of the implementation of the
Chris, did you get that question?
Sorry, I think I didn't get you clear. No, I didn't get the
Joseph,
question.
do you mind repeating, Joseph? I think it was a little bit difficult to hear you.
Yes.
If you could maybe speak up a little.
Chris, just to get an idea of the outcome. So apart from just tracking them, how many cases have been resolved or where they have been able to get back the stolen vehicles? How many have led to success? How do you track that in terms of outcomes?
Chris, you got the question?
I'm sorry.
Chris, are you able to respond to the question, telling us how many cases you've solved so far, how many recoveries?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, about recoveries.
Are you able to answer quickly before we move on?
And thanks, Joseph, for picking it up for me. We have recovered 36 motorcycles have been reported stolen ever since we began the journey, but we have recovered 34, and the 2 is because when we were starting out, we had a very different mode of recovery. We were relying on ourselves and the owners to recover, and it was very messy. But we have since moved from that mode to where now we involve the vendors who sell these motorcycles to the motorcycle operators, who in turn are well known by the local area chief and policemen. And with that kind of a model, it's easier for us to recover and less messy.
Okay. Thanks so much, Chris, for that. No more time for the other judges to ask questions. Let's move on to the next pitch that we have. When we think about legal aid, we often think about NGOs. But We Are More, which is the startup you will hear from next, is doing it very differently. They're using tech and business to deliver justice. Let's hear from Kagai Murithi.
I'm Kagai from We Are More.
Did you know that 1 in 5 Kenyans who has a legal problem does nothing about it? That is 10 million Kenyans with unresolved legal issues. We offer legal aid to people who either don't understand the legal system or can't afford a good lawyer. Our legal system is a David versus Goliath model where those who are not legally empowered must live with injustice. Since October 2020, our legal aid service has served over 560 users. 60% of these are women and 30% are youth. These users have been acquired through referral without any marketing. We charge $1 for a registration of every new case. We offer self-help training on a case-to-case basis for $10 to $50, and we get 25% commission for cases done in-house. Our team is made up of individuals with a passion to make a difference in our society. We have 4 lawyers, a certified mediator with 8 years legal experience, and an IT guru with 10 years of experience. With 20,000 euros, we will capture the Mombasa market where we are based, and over the next 18 months, expanding the coastal region, reaching 1 million people. Join us as we transform the way legal aid is administered from the donor-reliant program to a new model anchored on technology.
Okay. Hi, Kagai. Let's hear from the judges.
Hi. I hope you can see me.
Yes,
Ooh, it's
we
very
can. Yes.
So sorry. The lighting, yeah.
Kagai, that was
So great.
That was a really lovely pitch.
Thank you.
I want to ask you 2 questions. Are you an actual law firm?
No, actually, we're not an actual law firm. We're a legal aid service, and we're supposed to register as per the new regulations in Kenya, which haven't come into place. And that has stopped us from marketing ourselves. And so all our users have been acquired through referrals since 2020.
So when you say in-house cases, is that litigation cases or just mediation cases?
Both, actually, because we have mediators and we have advocates on board. When the case comes to We Are More, we give them the case to do, and they give us a 25% commission on that case.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from Duncan or Joseph?
Yeah, Kagai, I was wondering which problem or what problem you're actually trying to address. Is it access to legal info? Is it legal aid? I was actually struggling to define very clearly what is the problem that you're addressing.
Okay, so primarily we solve legal queries. So a lot of questions that we get is direction on how and what you should do in law. Number 2, we also give representation if need be. And number 3, once you have, for example, understood your problem, if you need to be trained on how to address it yourself, because most Kenyans cannot afford a lawyer. So we will take you step by step on the process through the whole system until your case has ended, with just us giving you advice through that. That is what we call self-help training.
Super. Great. Thank you so much, Kagai, and thank you to the judges. These 4 startups that you heard from were the startups from East Africa or Kenya. That's a wrap for this session. On top of your screen, that bell that you see should have an alert now, which will guide you to our next session. The next session is South Africa and Ukraine. Please follow that bell, and I'll see you there shortly. All right. Welcome to the session with the startups from South Africa and Ukraine. First, South Africa. According to the Governance, Public Safety and Justice Survey conducted by the government of South Africa in 2019, most people seek help from their family and friends when it comes to a justice problem. They say it is a waste of time and it is useless to go elsewhere. Now, the next startup that we have, Legal Fundi, is changing that. We're going to hear from Jack Channels about this.
My name is Jack Channels, and I am the co-founder of Legal Fundi, an AI solution which understands, interprets, and answers legal questions. Of the 50% of South Africans who've experienced a legal problem within the past 2 years, only 5% found professional support. Laws are difficult to interpret, legal services are expensive, and generally only available in urban centres. Legal Fundi's solution uses AI to understand, interpret, and answer user questions. Delivered through bots, users access step-by-step guided legal processes and documentation. Additionally, we have a community of lawyers and paralegals who provide on-demand services for those in need. Revenue is generated through paid access to bots, which includes document drafting and remediation. For leads, lawyers pay a subscription fee for access to user cases submitted via these bots. Since our inception 18 months ago, we have raised more than $100,000, which we have used to validate our product and run pilots in various markets. Our bot has conducted over 5,000 conversations, with 92% of these users saying that they felt their concern was addressed. Our team commands more than 30 years of legal experience, 6 years of software development, and 10 years of social business building. We invite investors to register for our expected capital raise next year, which will be used for expansion into Southern Africa, local language translation, and a deeper extension of our artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Hi, Jack. Let's hear from the judges.
Hello,
Hey Jack, nice pitch, very cool product. I know about your product. It's a very nice bot. Tell me something about your AI. When you say you use AI, what are you renting a platform, or is it your own development? Is it a self-learning bot? Just give me a little bit of insight into that.
Cool. So I think as per kind of traditional structures out there and startup building, we took the kind of Silicon Valley model, and which was to build quickly, validate your market, validate your product, and try understand what you can do around it. That was the first step, and that is what we kind of in the process of building at the moment, is including this natural language processing that we pulled through within that bot development phase using third-party systems, and we pulled that now into our own workflow builder, which now incorporates the decision-making and kind of easy functionality around it, as well as the natural language processing and kind of deep tech machine learning, ultimately.
Okay, excellent. Any questions from Duncan or Joseph?
Yes.
Yes,
Jack, just a quick question on your team. You mentioned that you work with a community of lawyers, but when I look at your team, it's a husband and wife team. How do you plan to ensure that you actually have the right relevant skills and diversity within the team itself?
Within the team itself, yes, you're very much correct. It is a kind of at its base a family model, and it's a family that was kind of esteemed in paralegal advice centers, and this is where we found the kind of breadth of community around us. So we partnered with a network called Chaosa at the moment, and a number of other paralegal kind of community advice centers. The idea is that we don't purport to have all the information that everybody needs, and the understanding here is that we always thought we could fit into the value chain, and where could we most fundamentally shift and apply our technology, rather than trying to change the kind of the breadth of that value chain. So an idea was to facilitate and create conducive systems for paralegals across South Africa, and that was the initial concept around this. And it's broached into a broader network there.
Okay, thank you so much, Jack. Now, we're going to move on to the next pitch, but before that, it's worth adding that South Africa totaled 730 million euros in investment in startups in 2021. That is according to Africa, the Big Deal, which is a project that celebrates the dynamism of the startup scene across Africa. Next, we're going to Ukraine. We feel very honored that we can have the Ukraine cohort today, given the current situation in Ukraine. We are thinking about our teams and our colleagues in Ukraine. In Ukraine, HiiL conducted a justice and satisfaction survey in 2017. We found that 53% of people experienced justice problems. 72% took action to resolve them, but only 40% partially or completely resolve the problem. Our next startup, called Consultant, makes it easier to find legal professionals. We're going to Kiev to hear from Dimitro Yormuluk.
I am Dmitro, co-founder of Consultant. We are a team of 4, and overall we have 15 years of experience in law, 10 in marketing and tech. And together we are introducing a new level of legal services in Ukraine and abroad. Consultant is a mobile app marketplace where you can get advice simultaneously from several lawyers. And following the initial consultation, our system automatically selects the most suitable legal service and produce a short list of lawyers. In Ukraine alone, the demand for online legal services is 150,000 per year. So on the one hand, people don't know whom to choose to get the best legal advice. On the other hand, lawyers struggle to get clients and want payment security. So we have a built-in safety feature to suit both customer segments and be ahead of our competitors. We earn a 30% commission from every deal and introducing a subscription option for lawyers. In 2021, we earned $2,500 by providing over 400 legal consultations. We signed a great partnership with a top insurance company that will bring us additional 800,000 clients. We will solve problems of about 27,000 people and earn nearly $200,000 over the next year, but we seek for $100,000 of equity investment to cover marketing campaign, to upgrade the app, and for partnership referrals. Thank you.
Unfortunately, our founder is having technical issues and is not able to take part in the Q&A with the judges. So we move forward. Of course, these things happen in online events. You can't have an event without these technical issues, eh? So we're moving on. We're going to hear from Clarity app from Mykola Smirnov. This is a startup that is making public procurement and transaction data open source. Let's hear from Mykola.
Hello, I'm Mykola Smirnov, co-founder of Clarity App. We provide businesses with information about public procurement in Ukraine. In 2021, more than 17,000 complaints were filed by businesses against illegal actions in the public procurement sector. We help our clients to prevent bad deals with the government and failed legal proceedings by giving them information about statistics, previous transactions, and legal precedents. We have freemium business model with more than 600,000 users per month and more than 1,000 paid subscriptions. Our market size is approximately 2 million people in Ukraine. Our competitive edge is unique information about public procurement that other competitors do not process and collect. We have in our team IT expert, public procurement expert, managers, and entrepreneur. With additional fundings on 500,000 euros, we can improve our IT infrastructure and make new services. As a result, we want to reduce costs of businesses on legal proceedings in public procurement in half.
Okay, now we have Mykola. Hi.
Hi.
Let's hear from the judges.
Hi, Mykola. Thanks for the presentation. Could you give us a bit more of an idea for the type of need and potential impact from the public procurement? Your presentation was very fast, but in terms of how is the platform really addressing the justice for the common access to that in terms of sectors or types of situations where that's not coming through properly? I didn't quite understand what you mentioned in terms of the public procurements that are falling through the cracks that you address in specific, or is it all of them?
Hi, thank you. First of all, we have a database of law precedents, judicial precedents in public procurement. So anyone who wants to appeal against the legal decision of governmental body can learn precedents and make a decision if he can win his appeal or lose. And so we help people to understand how legal procedures are in the public sector going. Also, we give entrepreneurs information about previous transactions of governmental bodies, so they can see if it's a good idea to sign a contract with some governmental body or not, and they can predict if they'll have their money or they'll have another legal proceeding in a court.
Okay, thank you so much, Mikola, for that. I also want to invite Dimitro from Consultant, who was not able to join a bit earlier, to respond to the questions from the judges. We were fortunate to be able to get him back. So, Dimitro, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Dimitro. I really liked your presentation. Thank you. I wanted to ask you one thing. Do the lawyers pay a subscription fee as well to be on your platform? Is that their return?
Yeah, okay. Just now it is freemium model, but we are going to provide subscription for lawyers approximately in 8 to 12 months when we will have active ecosystem. I mean, when a lot of services will be provided through our platform, then this is a sense to try subscription for them.
And will they, for that subscription, just get the inflow of new instructions, or would they be able to get other services as well?
You're asking about lawyers especially, right?
Yes. Yes.
For the subscription, they will have the flow of clients who already paid for this, and they will have the right to make publication on our platform. Through this publication, first of all, they will gain some rating on our platform. And for us, this is plus, as we will have like continuing content, and this is for our SEO development in Google search or other systems.
Thank you.
Any other questions from Duncan or Joseph? Okay, then we move forward. We're moving on to our next startup, which is all about user-friendly justice. It's called Legal Design, and it is making legal documents and contracts easy to understand with simplified language. Let's hear from Mikita Zhukov.
I am Mikita, Legal Lead. We provide multiple microservices to simplify the legal world. In Ukraine, there is an established trend toward paperless transaction and e-signature. We combine all these in one product. In practice, many people use free online templates for domestic contract. As a result, they struggle to understand how to apply the templates to their own situation. It can be stressful. Our website application provided automated multi-channel messaging via social media apps. We take client from basic data to the final cloud-based contract. Our team includes recognized legal and design experts, copywriters, visual managers, and developers. Our B2B2C subscription model will launch in Q3 2022. Average price of subscription will be $10, and we will include one-time paid option. With fundraising of €50,000, we can develop more templates, integrate e-signature and marketing. Our audience is 5 million Ukrainians that have no bank account. They are entrepreneurs and ready to new automated world. And we plan to reach this market by the end of 2025. Our solution improves credibility for both sides of domestic contract and become a daily comfort tool for routine legal process in Ukraine.
Okay. Hi, Mikita. Let's hear from the judges.
Hello. I'm Nikita and near me Oleg. We are both co-founders of Legal Design.
Hello.
Wonderful.
Cool. Nice to meet you guys. I will then ask a question. I want to understand the legal design. Is it completely tech-based? In other words, it is an automatic process, or is there, are you designing templates first that get automatically sent?
Okay, it's a fully automatic solution. We generate a form, and when the user is typing the data, finally is generated a contract result that can be shared and can be assigned. It's fully automatic.
Thank you.
Okay.
Could you give us
Duncan or Joseph?
Could you give us a bit more of a flavor for the team, please, and the expertise and how broad is the legal knowledge base in terms of different fields?
Yeah, our team includes Mikita. It's a legal lead with 7 years experience in legal. I'm a designer, tech expertise, and product manager. I'm in 10 years into digital from my childhood. Also, we have a developer team. It's 10 plus years experience and different. It's backend, front end, SaaS developers also for our solution, and also for interfaces like Telegram, WhatsApp, Viber, Instagram, Discord, and one more. Also, we have different people like copywriters, designers for help us in the different tasks. And in some, it's 7 people here in our team.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mikita. And with that, that was all the 3 pitches that we got from Ukraine. We're going to return to Cape Town in South Africa. And I want to tell you that in South Africa, it takes 338 days to resolve a justice problem. But also, it takes 873 days to give up. Not to mention the cost of this, and this cost can go up to 12,000 euros or 200,000 rand. Now, imagine also the stress and the anxiety of this, but also that you might be in the unfortunate situation of having to resolve these issues when a loved one has passed away. We're going to hear from Legal Ascent, Veronique Verlande, to see how they are tackling this issue.
Last year, over 700,000 South African families lost a loved one. These grieving families should be able to settle a deceased estate with minimum cost and minor inconvenience. Instead, they are faced with expensive legal fees and a daunting registration process. This explains why around 65% of deceased estates are never registered. Legal Ascent is the first online self-help tool that assists families. A simple online questionnaire generates the documents required to register a deceased estate. To also reach families living in remote areas, we have trained the staff of 55 community paralegal centers to use the Legal Ascent tool. Unlike traditional lawyers who charge expensive legal fees that start from 500 euros and more, Legal Ascent users pay a maximum of 90 euros, reducing the legal fees by 80%. Our team of 3 has over 25 years combined experience in business, engineering, and law. With 20,000 euros, we would be able to reach 10,000 families. Legal Ascent helps families experience significant savings in time and legal fees, allowing them the final closure they deserve.
Okay. Before we actually go to Veronique and the judges, I also want to let you, our participants, know that there is a poll on the bottom right of your page, and we would like to hear from you. Please engage with that poll. Now, hi, Veronique.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Wednesday.
Let's hear from the judges.
That was a really brilliant pitch. Well done, Veronique. I have 2 questions for you. First of all, the technology. Who in the team builds it? How did you develop it?
Well, we initially hired a freelancer to build the base for the app, and now we have our in-house developers that are focused on building on that base. So yeah, the entire system is in-house at the moment.
Okay. And do you have any relationships with the master's offices?
Not at the moment. We hope to create those relationships. We are in the process of doing so through our other partners. So yes, we definitely hope to do that.
Okay. Thanks for that. Duncan or Joseph, do you have any questions for Veronique?
And thanks, Veronique. In terms of the revenue, apart from the one-off charge, depending on the complexity or ongoing complexities and resolutions, do you have any other revenue streams you have planned?
Yes, we do. At the moment, we first focus on the actual process, setting that out in terms of the technology. But we do definitely foresee being able to capitalize on legal notices, potentially being able to do the legal notices through our system and being able to generate income from that. Also, we saw really an opportunity within the property space, because within the actual estates, there are normally houses that needs transferring. There's also vehicles that needs transferring. So there's definitely an opportunity within that to be able to generate even additional revenue. And we hope to be able to do so in the future.
Thank you.
Super. Thanks so much. And with this, we wrap up the session for South Africa and Ukraine. But before we go to the next session, I want to tell you about networking. In the next 15 minutes, you will have the opportunity to do speed networking, like speed dating, basically, like it was in the pre-COVID times, and you would go and have a coffee break and have random chats with people. But we're doing it in the online 22 version, where you will be matched for 2 minutes with different participants of this event. They could be our founders, they could be other entrepreneurs, they could be investors, HiiL staff members, but also anyone from anywhere in the world who is with us today. So the way it works is that you are randomly matched with another person, and then once the 2 minutes is up, then you are matched with another person, and so on and so forth. This will go for 15 minutes, and when it comes to the 15 minutes, you will get a prompt, that bell on the top right of your screen, which will tell you to go to the Middle East and North Africa session, the MENA session. So happy networking, and I see you in 15 minutes. Now, we are here in the session for the startups in West Asia, or known as the Middle East, and North Africa. We're going to Tunisia. HiiL conducted a justice and satisfaction survey in Tunisia in 2016. We found that 41% of people have justice problems. 71% take action to resolve it, but only 22% of them manage to resolve them partially or completely. In Tunisia, access to public services is the second most serious justice issue. Civitas, our next startup, addresses this issue. We're going to Firas Ghaffari. Firas is joining us from La Marsa, a beautiful city on the coast of the Gulf of Tunis.
My name is Firas Ghaffari, and I'm a co-founder at Civitas. Administrative services can be overly complicated and long. In Tunisia, obtaining a building permit can take you up to 4 months, and over 40% of access to information requests have gone unanswered in 2021. We believe it's by helping administrations optimize their services that we can help people access their rights. So our team of digital transformation and local governance experts built a platform that enables NGOs, governments, and tech companies to collaborate, co-design, and co-build digital processes that are fast, efficient, and customizable. Since March 2021, our bottom-up approach, combined with our low-code digital process builder, reduced the average time to obtaining a building permit in Tunisian municipalities from 4 months to just 8 days. We also achieved a 100% response rate on access to information requests and have deployed 10 more apps in 18 Tunisian administrations. Having been established in France since December 2021, we are now raising 500,000 euros to build our user-friendly, online, no-code platform to reach 30,000 administrations in Tunisia and France by March 2023. So let's talk.
Okay, hi Firas.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, let's
Hi,
hear from the judges.
For us, you seem to be focused on saving a lot of public money and time. Have you mapped out in some way what the total cost saving you're helping create on the public budget?
Not not the whole budget saving that we are aiming for, but we have studied each case when we start digitizing any process. For building permits, we have estimated 125 dinars, which is almost $30, $35 per request. So we down that to $3 per request. So we are saving a lot of money, both for citizens and for governments.
And are you leveraging that to get funding from governments or other development aimed sources of financing, given the amount of money you're saving?
Yes, we have leveraged that with NGOs, giving that working with us will help them reach their KPIs more efficiently. So we targeted NGOs for this part of the argument, let's say.
Whereas, I mean, municipal services are huge, and I'm wondering whether you've actually focused on a particular area, whether it is to address grievance or to provide open data. Exactly where do you think you'll actually provide maximum value?
So any administrative services that requires communications between departments or personnel is what we specialize for. Our BPM digitizes processes that are physical processes. We turn them into online processes. So we specialize in requests and paperwork access and licensing.
Thank you, Firas. We're going to go next to our startup called Ghanuni. But let me tell you, something wonderful happened to us. We were matchmakers. Ghanuni merged with JuryDoc. JuryDoc was a part of our cohort last year. Now these two startups are combining their power to make justice people-centered and user-friendly in Tunisia, by helping Tunisians navigate the complex labyrinth of legal documents and procedures. Let's go to Maya Bourghate Shab'an.
My name is Maya Bourghate Shab'an. I'm a lawyer and co-founder of Ghanuni. We are solving the problem of access to legal information for people with unmet justice needs, legal professionals, and organizations. Ghanuni is a SaaS platform offering a yearly subscription to a searchable database with more than 30,000 legal documents and 3,000 cases of the Supreme Court in more than 50 areas of law. We also provide for a free access to citizens to a portion of the database with the support of NGOs such as the Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. Thanks to our recent merger with our main competitor JuryDoc, our customer base has grown by 1.2 thousand users, and our monthly revenue are growing by 50%. We are expanding to Africa, especially Ivory Coast and Senegal, where we have ongoing projects. Our team is now strong with 4 co-founders, a business lawyer, a chartered accountant, a digital marketing specialist, and a business developer, cumulating 77 years of experience. The future of our technology is artificial intelligence and focusing on Arabic for data treatment tools. We are raising 800,000 K to enhance our tech and our data treatment tools and scale outside of Tunisia.
Okay, hi Maya. Let's hear from the judges.
Hello.
Hi, Maya. Can I ask you 2 questions about the legal information? How is it provided? Is it app-based or?
It's the legal informations are mainly legal laws laws, decrees, I mean, all types of legislations. Also sometimes internal notes of the administration, and also case law.
Okay.
And what is the subscription per month or annual subscription?
The fees or the number of annual subscription? The fee? We have different types of fees. We have fees for lawyers, and accountants, and we also have for corporates.
Maya, sorry, could you just explain? So who pays you? Is it the lawyers who pay you, or is it so who subscribes to your service?
I am a lawyer myself. Yeah.
No, who pays for the service?
Who pays you?
Lawyers, judges, corporates. Also, we have several banks and corporates. We also have NGOs, DFIs also. So all persons who have justice needs, or also who needs legal information. Mainly professionals, but we are also targeting citizens.
Wonderful.
How scalable is it beyond different countries?
Any more questions for Maya before we go to the next one?
Yes. How scalable is it as you expand into different countries, given the different laws versus just the language that you're addressing?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Maya's co-founder, and I'll be happy to answer this question about scalability, because it's one of the hurdles that we have to go over. Scalability for now is going through partnerships, because the input that we need is all this information to be ingested into our platform. So we're not scaling alone. We're scaling with the people that has the ability to put in the table all this legal information in the way that we need them to be ingested.
Okay. Thank you, Maya, and thank you, Dali. We are next going to beautiful Beirut in Lebanon. In 2017, HiiL conducted a justice and satisfaction survey. We found 56% of people experienced legal problems. 71% took action to resolve them, but only 40% partially or completely resolved the problem. Of course, in the last 3 years, a lot has happened in Lebanon, and this can only contribute to the worsening of the justice issues in the country. According to the JNS, which I just referred to, neighbor issues at 20% are the most serious justice problem in the country. We're going to Binayati, who is solving this problem one problem at a time. We're going to hear from David Besaibas.
Hi, I'm David, founder of Binayati. Binayati is a user-friendly property management solution that helps solving neighbors' disputes. It's one of the most prevailing legal problems in the MENA region. Binayati provides online legal support and enables full transparency on the building common financial and managerial reports, hence reduce conflicts between neighbors and build trust. Binayati is a user-oriented and multilingual mobile solution. It's a unique offering in the MENA region. In just 8 months, we got more than 2,000 registrations in Lebanon. Out of them, 300 buildings rely on our solution for their internal management. Our main revenue stream is a yearly subscription of $10 per apartment. Thanks to our team of 6 devoted and passionate members, Binayati is excelling. New features are now under development for better services and additional revenue streams. For an equity investment of $500K, Binayati will expand from the Lebanese market of 5 million urban citizens into the potential 50 million citizen markets of Cyprus, Jordan, and Egypt in the first year. Also, we are open for partnership in any potential market, aiming for a more interactive and happier community.
Okay. Hi, David.
Hi.
Okay, let's hear from the judges.
Maybe a basic question, David, but if the building doesn't want to pay the $10,
David, hi.
Hi.
No,
Sorry,
go
Jordan.
ahead.
Joseph, you were
Go
asking
ahead.
a question?
Yes, David, I was just asking that if half of the building doesn't want to pay the $10 and the other half pay it, how does that help?
No, we get paid from the management of the building, not every apartment. There's a committee in the building or the management who is managing the building. So if a building of 10 apartments, we will get $100 from the management. We will not go into each apartment and get this $10.
But the
So
apartment, they have to decide on the budget themselves. So if half of them
yes,
object,
yes.
they're not there, or if six, or if 3, 4 object, they're going to be forced to pay their contribution.
No, it's decided by the management of the building. They decide uh, to uh, to save some time and effort, so they'll use Binayati as a tool. It's a tool to solve issues and save time.
Right.
It depends. It's a decision of the management, not for every apartment.
Okay. Duncan, I think you had a question.
Yes, David, help me reconcile between your your funding ask, your growth plans,
yes,
and your current performance. I believe you have some historical performance in terms of having been in place since 2019. Just help me just get a sense of how those three speak to each other.
Okay. Currently, we have around 300 buildings as a running customer. We get in 6 months. In 2019, it was launched Binayati. In such six months, we get more than 2,000 registrations, building registered. But in 2019, October 2019, we get a financial crisis in our country and everything collapsed. But still, we have 300 buildings using our solution. So it's a need. This solution is a need. So our forecast, we were estimating to get 5,000 buildings in 5 years. 5,000 buildings relying on our solution in 5 years.
Thank you, David. We're going next to Ramallah in the occupied West Bank in Palestine to hear from Amer Kurdi. Amer plays several balls. He is a practicing lawyer and he often joined our sessions from court. Let's hear from Amer from Adel.
Hello everyone, my name is Amer. I'm an attorney and founder of Adel.ps. Adel helps employees who face injustice at work to know their right through our automated legal advisor and to connect with lawyers available online. According to statistics, we have identified that the majority of employees in the MENA region are deprived of their basic rights, and that is due to lack of awareness, complexity of the laws, and that it is time-consuming and expensive to find and consult with the right attorney. Therefore, we came up with a solution that levels the playing field by enabling employees to obtain a comprehensive report determining eligibility, type of compensation, and amount of entitlement, and to take action by connecting with lawyers available online. There are 58 million employees based in the MENA region, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Palestine. And since April 2021, we have enabled 1,300 employees to obtain a comprehensive report and 350 to obtain an online consultation. We charge $10 per report and $50 per online consultation. Our team comprises of 5 specialized attorneys and 2 IT professionals. With your support of $50,000, we can solidify our position in the Palestinian market as first movers and to conduct research and development to localize our product with the Saudi and Jordanian markets. Thank you, and let's talk.
Okay, let's hear from Amer. Hi, Amer.
Hi. Hi, Ron.
Hi. Okay, judges, what questions do you have for Amer?
Amer, this is a really great app. I'm sure it's going to have a great impact. Who is building the technology for you?
So basically, we're hiring a private company that has high level of expertise in developing web apps and products in Palestine.
Okay, thank you.
I'm all right. Duncan here. Can I just check? I mean, why do you wait to cure the problem and not prevent it by working with the employers to prevent injustice at the workplace? I'm just trying to get a sense of why come later rather than be proactive with the employers themselves.
All right. So, as from my experience as a lawyer, I've realized that employers learn a lesson once an employee bites them with a winning case in court, and thereafter they become understanding of their employment rights. Therefore, I'm coming from the bottom of the pyramid. I want to educate people about their rights in order to take action.
Wonderful.
Is
Time
there
for one more question?
Are you going to scale to the employers as well by giving them labor advice?
Well, basically, my application is for everyone. They can use it. They can learn about the rights. But basically, I'm focusing on the weak part. But with marketing and branding, I can actually make it accessible for lawyers and for employers who want to know what kind of rights their employees are entitled to.
And the consult. Oh, okay.
Okay, and with that, we wrap up the pitches from the Middle East and North Africa session. On the top of your screen, that bell should now have an alert, which will direct you to the next session, which is the West Africa session. So please follow that link, and I'll see you in the West Africa session. Welcome to the West Africa session, and we're going to Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa with a population of 200 million people, Africa's largest economy with the strongest track record in startup investments. In fact, in 2011, in Africa, startups raised the total of 1.2 billion euros. This is unprecedented in Nigeria and also across the African continent. What about the justice issues? HiiL conducted a justice and satisfaction survey in Nigeria in 2015. We found that 73% of people experience justice problems. 71% take action to resolve them, but only 61% manage to partially or completely resolve the problem. Every year. According to the government of Nigeria's Demographic and Health Survey from 2018, 30% of girls and women between the ages of 15 and 49 experience sexual abuse in Nigeria. With the COVID pandemic, this got worse, a lot worse. In the 3 states of Federal Capital Territory, Ogun and Lagos, we saw a 297% increase in the number of reported cases of gender-based violence during the lockdowns. These are only the reported cases, and we know that many cases are not reported. The UN labeled the increase in gender-based violence during the COVID-19 lockdown as shadow pandemic. Osasu Adobo is a gender expert, and she started Think, Help, Restore, THR, to use technology to deliver support to survivors of gender-based violence in Nigeria. Let's go to Osasu.
I'm Osasu Adobo, founder at Think, Help, Restore Media, a social enterprise that helps women and girls find shelter and recover from gender-based violence. 1 in 3 women experience gendered abuse in their lifetime, my mom inclusive. Our mobile app, Hafessions, provides online and on-site access to a centralized ecosystem of psychosocial support, health, security, legal aid, and shelter anonymously. Since 2019, Hafessions has served 7,000 plus women via media advocacy, sheltered 40 families, and facilitated custody and child support for over 80 women. Our team of 3 co-founders of psychiatric, tech, legal, and gendered professionals have cumulative work experience of over 32 years. Our advantage: collaborative partnership with service providers, centralized data collation, which reduces the economic cost of gender-based violence via proactive programming. We are sustained via service commissions, app ads, partner donations, and grants. We seek grants and investment of $250,000 to deploy to 15 more states in Nigeria, establish shelters in 10 states, and help 50,000 plus women in 3 years.
Okay. Hi, Osasu.
Hello, Iran.
Hello. Let's hear from the judges.
Hi, Osasu. It's a wonderful thing that you've built. I have two questions. One about the ecosystem. Is it a directory that you signpost people to, or do they get actual help from partners on the ecosystem?
Okay, great. So it's two in one. It's so yes, there's a directory where wherever you are in the world, if you have relatives wherever, you can actually use that and send them through. However, you actually get actual services across the 5 services that can be provided. So it's live, and we're able to compute the data across.
Okay. And just a quick last question. You said at the end the funding request is also to establish shelters. Are you talking about brick and mortar shelters that you will be setting up?
Yes, so yes, brick and mortar, because my background is also in shelter management, and we've seen that one of the major issues are the fact that when women seek help, where they don't know where to go. So yes, shelter is part of our plan to build. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, actually, that's amazing progress you've done, and it looks like, especially given the numbers of increase, it's something that creates a lot of value for the government and social services. How have you tapped in and leveraged that value creation for them to help in grants and increased funding, whether it's locally or internationally?
Okay, so we currently, because we work in this space, I'm a gender advocate, and Tosin here is a tech and legal lawyer. So what we have done is that we work in the ecosystems where the government works, and we're able to share this data with them. So currently in Lagos and in Abuja, we work directly with the Ministries of Women, Ministries of Justice, and we are in the coalition that facilitates this. However, funding hasn't directly come through the government, but they're able to also gain from the data that we put across the country.
Thank you, Osasu. Now, let me tell you that in Nigeria, property and land ownership is the 4th most serious justice issue. House Africa is addressing this issue. We're going to hear from Ndefreke Ikopu about this.
My name is Ndefreke Ikopu, co-founder House Africa. In 2017, I lost about $18,000 to property fraud. Events like this happens regularly in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. Many of Nigerian states still operate and maintain an antiquated method of land record, and that accounts for over $900 billion debt capital in real estate. House Africa is building a blockchain-based property record system to help vulnerable homebuyers access, verify, and value property. Our mortgage model connects home buyers to mortgage opportunities with our 27 partner banks to provide access to affordable homes. We charge percentage commission. We've done over 600 property verification, flagged 9% as negative, meaning 54 bad transactions were prevented. We have received 1,200 mortgage applications with $40,000 as revenue. Our target for the next 1 year is to increase this by 500%, expand to Ghana, Rwanda, and Kenya. My co-founder Namdi and I have founded and exited our first startup. So with our experience in real estate, technology, and finance, we plan to reduce property fraud while increasing access to credit for home buyers.
Okay. Hi, Ndefreke.
Hi everyone.
Okay, let's hear from the judges.
Cool, Ndifreka, well done. That sounds like a very promising platform, especially using blockchain for that. My question is, do you have any relationship with the deeds officers or the government in registering these properties? Are they working with you or?
Yeah, so the process to actually onboard them is quite slow, but we have like a low-hanging fruit, which is the real estate developers that we're working with at the moment. That is where we have 35,000 properties that we've onboarded. We realize that the real estate developers have access to the government road or have access to be registered more easily, compared to other people. So we are actually operating at that 0 with the real estate developers.
So will it be a voluntary registration base if it's not a government? It's not a government database.
So because the data we have still comes from the government, but that access to giving us the record directly through APIs, like we requested, is slow, but it's an ongoing discussion.
Okay, thank you.
A quick question for you, my friend. I understand there are reforms taking place in the property, especially in the Nigerian market, and this is literally to reduce, the 1 year that you actually have to give a deposit and make it a monthly, something similar to what happens here in Kenya. Do you think that has an impact in terms of some of the dynamics of or the characteristics of the market that you're currently targeting or currently addressing?
Positive impact, I would say, because some of this reform is to make life easy for the own users, the home buyers or the guy that wants to rent. So, and we are bringing in technology to make it even more easier. So it's on the positive end for us.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're prepared for it. Are you prepared?
We're going to our last, but certainly not least, founder. We're going to William Chidube, who is the founder of Avocat. Remember, I told you that only 61% of Nigerians manage to partially or completely resolve their justice problems. Now, Avocat is addressing this very justice gap.
It's no secret that there's a human rights crisis in Nigeria. There have been alleged government-sanctioned abductions, unlawful imprisonment, even the mighty Twitter was a target. Advocates are arresting this by arming the average Nigerian with access to thousands of lawyers for their legal protection. And we're achieving this through our location-based emergency legal service and our video-based legal consultation. We charge €5 to post a consultation request to the platform and a €15 annual subscription fee for emergency legal protection. More than 1,000 minutes of video consultation has occurred on Avocat, and through partnership with NGOs, nearly €10,000 worth of emergency legal protection has been secured for more than 600 people. All of this since we launched in October last year. My name is William Chidube, product designer and media professional with more than 10 years of experience. Our legal strategist is an experienced lawyer with the relevant understanding of Nigeria's legal landscape. With €200,000, we will secure emergency legal protection for 2,000 more Nigerians and Ghanaians and reach 50 consultation requests posted daily, bringing our MRR to €7,200 by January 2023.
Okay, hi, William.
Hello, Iran. Hello, judges.
Hi, William. What a great presentation. When you say it's a $15 subscription, would that give them access to the actual legal help, or does it just put them in contact with an emergency lawyer?
So it gives them access to location-based legal protection. Now, I would explain. You can think of this simply as the Uber for legal protection. If somebody has a problem anywhere and they push the red button on the app, we identify or locate a lawyer that's close to the event, and then that lawyer comes over to help protect the individual from whatever abuse they're confronted by.
Does the lawyer go directly to them or first make contact with them? Like GPS tracking to go to them, or how do you connect them?
Yes, so we have an active map with GPS location tracking, directions, and everything. But I've experienced this, so I know that there are situations where a victim might not even be able to receive a call, because if they're being oppressed by security forces, for instance, and if they pick up their phone could be seized. So we make it possible. We try to educate the lawyers to not call except they are called, because you can call within the app as well. And then the lawyer begins to use the map to make their way down to the event, to the location.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more question from the
William,
judges. One final question, actually.
Thank you. I'll take that. William, how do you protect against pervasive maybe incentive of making up some of these information? I mean, because you talked about verification on one side, but how do you ensure that verification cuts right across from the victim through to those that are supporting the victim?
Very interesting question. We had a similar question posed to us when we're presenting at the NBA Just Law Week. So what we're doing is, for lawyers, we verify the lawyers using Supreme Court's online services, the way you can verify the lawyers. And for users, unfortunately, we are bound by the limits of technology and physics. We just have to take their photos, take their home address, take all of the basic information that we need. And also, we're planning very, very near future to partner with the police through the police mobile app for emergencies as well, so that the lawyers themselves can be protected by security forces whenever they go out on situations like this.
Great. Thank you for that, William. Thank you
very much.
Jackie and Duncan and Joseph. With this, we conclude all the pitches at the demo day. Our judges now will go to deliberation, and they have the tough task of identifying the top 3 winners of the 2022 Innovating Justice Award. As a reminder, the winners will win 20,000 euros, 10,000 euros, and 5,000 euros as prize, and of course, will be recognized as the winners. Now, there will be an alert on top of your screen, on the top right, that bell, which will guide you to our next session, which is a fireside chat. I am very pleased to reconnect with 2 of our founders from the previous cohort. I will be speaking with Zita Agunobi from iVerify and Shema Steve from Exus. Join me there in just a moment, please. Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone to this fireside chat. In the next 40 minutes, we're going to hear from Zita Agunobi from iVerify in Nigeria, and also Shema Steve from Exus in Rwanda. It is my pleasure to reconnect with you. Welcome, Zita and Shema. Hello.
Hi, Iran.
Hello. Shema, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Wonderful,
Hi.
wonderful. Let's actually get to know you a little bit better. I'm wondering if you can introduce yourselves briefly and also your startups, and tell us a little bit about how your startup contributes to unlocking the justice potential. Zita, can we start with you first, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, hi everyone, and congratulations to the cohorts. I wish you the best of luck today. My name is Zita Agunobi, and I'm the founder CEO of iVerify.ng. iVerify.ng is a digital identity onboarding platform in Nigeria, and that enables businesses and users to access digital profile data, and they use this data to solve their identity-related problems, improve their business securities, and of course, increase their overall revenue and employee retention.
Okay, let's hear from you. Shema, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and Exus?
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. And Zita, say congrats to all the this cohort participant and the startups. I've been watching some of the presentation, quite impressive and amazing. So back to me, I'm called Shema Steve. I'm the founder and CEO of Exis Limited, which is a fintech that's behind an app called Sev. Sev is a digital wallet for informal collective savings schemes. So what we're trying to achieve, or what we've been working towards achieving, is pretty much creating a digital wallet for those communities that were previously financially excluded, to try and then provide that bridge that links them to the former financial sector. But also on top of that, by providing security and transparency into how they run their operations on a day-to-day basis, which was not the case before we came into the picture.
Right. Wonderful. Let's first maybe talk to each other about the financing of your startups. Last week, Zita, you told me that following the accelerator program, one of the things that you learned, which was customer discovery, led you to change iVerify's business model. You went from a B2C to a B2B2C, which has allowed iVerify to generate more income and to be able to bootstrap. Now, you told me that despite getting interest from investors, you are saying no to them at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Zita, I think you are, yes. You're muted. Your mute button is on.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. So initially, it was very difficult for us to hold funding conversations because we needed to be very sure where the funds we were going to receive were going into. And so the first thing that for us at iVerify was defining what we really wanted and where we were headed. Yes, we started off as a B2B. We're doing business, there were customers, but we realized with the fact that we needed to check our burn rate as often as possible when we're doing our financials, we realized that we're burning out. And it wasn't such a great path for us to be on. And so we had to do some sort of reassessment of our strategy. And already we had existing clientele from the individual clients and of course from the corporate clients. And so that helped us to come about that strategic decision because we found out that the B2B relationships were better off, more sustainable. It might take longer for us to acquire conversion in terms of marketing them and converting the whole marketing thing to sales, but it's really worth the wait. And so the switch has been very beneficial to us from B2B to B2B2C, and it's increased our partnership relationships base. We are more collaboration minded, and it's also sort of defined the need to seek contract-based relationship rather than a one-off business relationship. So, and I'd like to also say that from the previous cohorts, our cohorts, we are currently collaborating with Peleza. Peleza was one of our cohorts, and she's based in Kenya. And we are mutually rendering services to each other and gaining access to market just because of that collaboration. So, and it would be nice if the cohorts also find some sort of alignment in the various cohort innovations, within this cohort. So the path is clearer for us now, and we are very open to funding from investors and having funding conversations because we know exactly where we intend to put the money.
Of course, yeah, that clarity is very crucial, sort of having that clarity for yourself before you bring in another party, particularly investors. And I love hearing about the collaboration between iVerify and Peleza. This is really what our program is all about creating opportunities for startups from the different corners, particularly in the African continent, to collaborate and work with each other and to increase and amplify the impact that they have on people. But also, Zita, you spoke about partnerships, and I know that partnerships are very important to Exus. Shema, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Didn't catch that. What was the question again, please?
I was saying that I know that partnerships, Zita was speaking about partnerships. I know that partnerships are also very important to Exus, to its operations and the way that it is growing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, partnership is really key for any startup. Not just, I'm actually happy to hear that Peleza and iVerify, they're partnering. Kudos to that, and the best of luck. But as far as we're concerned, at least what we've seen is, for instance, in our case, we've realized what we're doing. The central bank approached us, and then they're like, okay, what you guys are doing, maybe you need a license or whatnot. And we later found out that whatever it is we're doing, we really didn't need a license. However, since we're dealing with people's money, we needed to partner with a licensed entity to hold such a kind of deposits. So that's one of the examples of what really happened in our case. So in this case, we had to approach one of the local commercial bank and then told them what we're doing and the impact we're creating in the community. And they were very happy to partner with us, where we provided technology as a sort of a gateway, and then they hold deposits of these informal savings schemes. Now, that's one way to look at it. But also, if as we think of expansion, we've realized that partnership is really key, because markets are different, especially in Africa. We have over 50 different countries, different cultures, different regulatory frameworks. So if you really want to serve most of these markets, you definitely need to create partnerships, be it with some of these regulated entities, but also with your colleagues or entrepreneurs in different countries. Because when you have these relevant or solid partnerships, it helps you navigate easily, such a kind of environment. And the cost of setting up, the time of setting up is really reduced to just a couple of months, or even in some cases weeks. So this is why I think partnership is really key, whether you're looking at your national growth or even cross-border growth. You need to create some of these partnerships. And another thing we've seen where partnership is really key is when it comes to talent sourcing. I mean, if you're obviously growing markets, you need to grow your team. You need to get more qualified team in different markets. And again, back to partnership. So when you have a huge pool of partners, then it makes it much more easier. I mean, people say your network is your net worth. So in this case, you'd replace network with partnerships. The more partnerships you have, the easier you can grow, the easier you can get some of your problems solved, attended to, because in whichever country or whichever sector you want assistance from, in most cases you'd find that maybe a person or there's a partnership that you already have. So this is why I believe partnership is key, especially when you're looking for growth.
Definitely. Yeah, you touched on sort of the value of partnership, from the delivery of the service, from understanding who that service is actually serving better, in getting the investors on board. And also you mentioned getting the talent and building that team that is supposed to deliver all of this and make all of this happen and possible. And I know in iVerify, Zita, you have 100% retention of your team members. That is incredible. Can you tell us about how you do this? How do you build this team?
Okay, thank you very much, Iran. Yes. So it's very important for every entrepreneur to understand that without a team, there is no business. And so at iVerify, we prioritize the relationship that we have with the team, the quality of the team that we need in place. So for us at iVerify, integrity is core value in hiring. And every employee we have on board is not just on board on the merit of the certificate, but on the integrity threshold with which you come on board, or what you bring on board. So you are assessed based on internal metrics, and what we look out for basically is the integrity threshold, how much of your words hold water, how much of your character. So we actually have it as a slogan that we hire character and develop the skills. So character is very important to us. So we look out for that, we prioritize that, and yes, it's helped the team's sustainability and of course the retention of the employees. We didn't have to have people get sacked or leave the company intermittently, because it also disrupts the structure and the business that we are building. So we prioritize understanding the strengths and the weaknesses of the team. And so we know that everyone is good at something, and that thing that you're good at, we magnify it. So these have been some of the strengths and the things that we put in place, and we are able to get the best of team, give their best, be at their best, of course, over time, and they are still with us.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear about how this value of integrity, which is really at the core of the service that iVerify delivers, is used as a way to bring your team together, to find the right people and keep them focused on that vision that you have for iVerify. And I find that this example to be very impressive about how a team should develop, a team of startups and a team of startup founders and employees who stay on the same page and very focused on that vision that they see for their startup in making that particular impact that they need to make in solving people's problems. And Zita, I know that that iVerify is growing very quickly, and with that, I can understand or imagine that your role also as the CEO, as the leader, is changing. Can you tell us a little bit about this change that you are experiencing yourself?
Yes. So initially, as the founder CEO, there is this tendency to be all over the place in multiple capacity. You're under the finance umbrella, the marketing umbrella, and you're just all over the place. But as the team and the businesses grow, better structuring evolves. So currently, I'm no longer all over the place because we've got capable hands who can actually function and actually do function better, even in my absence. I was actually commending one of my staff this afternoon, everything excellently done. And I said to her, I'm going to go on vacation because I don't need to be here anymore. And so I am currently in charge of building brand partnerships with key stakeholders and, of course, maintaining the corporate relationships. So I take that external brand partnership and external role so that we are able to bring in more customers who the team would work with.
Yeah, and I can imagine that with that specialization, but of course with your focus on one thing in particular, which is building that partnerships with corporations, then you are really doing the key work that needs to happen in growing iVerify across Nigeria, but also beyond. You mentioned, for example, Kenya. I'm curious, Shema, how is it for you for Exus? Can you tell us a little bit about how you build the team there? Oh, Shema,
I need to unmute myself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm back here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's impressive what Zita just shared. And in my case, it's somewhat different because we have. I mean, I would say the retention is somewhat high. I would say above 70%, not 100%, obviously. Because one of the challenges we're facing these days is, especially, I don't know, maybe Zita will also share, but after COVID, we've had a wave of lots of companies in the West, especially because the biggest part of my team, they're software engineers, so working on the tech. So what we've seen is companies in the US, in Europe, offering a lot of money, 3 to 4 times what I'm paying. And obviously, given the fact that most of my staff, they're quite young, you know, they want to live the life, you know. We have a hashtag called YOLO, you know, I don't know if you know what that means. So we've we've had to sort of deal with that. You know, somebody just overnight comes and like, this is what they're giving me. I like it here, but you know, now I've got to level up. So yeah, sometimes you try to do the pep talk, you know, impact and all that kind of stuff, but it just doesn't stick. So that's one of the challenges, you know, we've been facing pretty much. Some have been able to stick around, some others not really, you know. And recently we had 2 of my key guys wanting to come back because I mean even though they left, they stayed behind on a part-time basis. Now we kept on talking, and then obviously some of them are coming back. Now all this to say that, I mean, aiming for 100% retention is really cool and great, but sometimes it doesn't work, especially in my case in the tech world. So what we try to do, obviously, as Zita said, is pretty much to create that culture, you know, where people, they're just not working just for a paycheck, or, you know, they just like it. They like the environment. Because this is what you can, you know, offer. Because if you go for the money, obviously, as a startup, you know, there are big companies out there that are going to really match or even double, in most cases, triple your salary. So you've got to find something that they can't really match. And obviously this culture, but also as Zita gave an example, is trying to give them a platform where they can exercise their leadership, you know, something they can be proud of. Because even when they join these big companies, they don't have influence really, which is something that can be frustrating sometimes. Because I mean, I get paid all this money, but I don't feel my influence. I don't feel my impact, right? So we try to offer that to make them stay, or to even encourage them, you know. And that's, so far it's working, not again 100%, but it seems to be working. Because when you give them something like that sense of ownership, like at least here, even though I'm not being paid all this money, but at least I've got an influence. My opinions are really valued, and I can see that happen. So this is something we've been trying to do on top of culture, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, and of course, many founders have this issue, you know, early on, especially to find the right co-founders and to build that team, to get highly paid tech people to come on board. And often they come on board because of that sense of autonomy that they have, or the belonging, working in a small team, and that shared culture and that commitment to solving that problem that really brings them in. But I can imagine that it is very challenging to do the pep talk, as you said, to bring them on board.
It is.
And this issue of sort of brain drain that you also mentioned, particularly we see this with in Africa, but with particularly developers and tech people. And I know that in Nigeria in the last 2 years, a lot of the people in the startup and tech space have made the move from Nigeria to Europe, UK, and maybe the US. I wonder, Zita, what is it like for you? Are you finding it difficult finding the right tech talent in Nigeria? How do you tackle this issue? Zita, are you still there with us? I think there is maybe a slight delay. So let's wait for Zita. I think there is maybe a connection issue. So I'm going to go back to you,
we've
Shema.
had the same set of employees from inception.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you get my question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Zita, I think we're having a connection issue. So I'm going to come back to you. If you can hear me, I will come back to you. But I'm going to go to Shema one more time. And Shema, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Of course, we're seeing Exus growing and the team is expanding and you are looking beyond Rwanda. Can you also tell us how this is changing for you, your role as a CEO and as a leader? What's happening?
Yeah, definitely something I've got to change. I mean, earlier Zita alluded to that it gets to a point, lots of people refer to that it gets to a point where the company stops being your baby and then you start sort of putting other people, giving responsibilities and then just not being hands-on all the time. Because when it's still a startup, I mean, again, you're all over the place, you're everybody pretty much playing every role. But then as the company grows, now you start, getting used to compromises. Some of your team members, you've got to give them that chance, or sometimes also accept that you could be wrong, and then let other people exercise their role. So this is obviously, as a founder, it's that moment where it gets really tricky, and obviously some emotions to some extent are also involved. So pretty much that. I mean, Zita rightly put it. It's just that point where you have to sort of not to be always hands-on. I mean, let other people play the role. Also focus on what you think you're good at, and then be a team player as part of a bigger team. So I think that's the transition that's really key. In most cases, you've seen startups or founders at least leave their CEO job and then or bring in some other people, because you tend to have this thing of just fixing everything, and then you fix it quickly. But then the bigger the team grows, the more processes that have to be put in place, to sort of balance the balance and checks and all that kind of stuff. And I believe that's the phase we're in, and it's not easy, but obviously it's a phase one has to go through as the company grows.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we know that a lot of times, actually, the research has shown this, that the founder's relationship toward their startup is very much similar to a parent's relationship to a child. So that tendency to try to fix everything and to be there and protect that child or that startup is there. And of course, this can be a very emotional journey for the founders, particularly the leads of the startup. And I can imagine that is a challenge that many of our founders, including yourself, Shema, experience. I wonder if we have Zita back. Okay, Zita, I want to go back to that question. I don't know if you heard me, but I'll repeat it for our audience. The question, Shema was talking about the brain drain of the tech talent in Africa. And I know that in Nigeria, we're seeing quite a lot of tech people in the startup space, leaving the country and going to Europe and UK and the US. Are you finding it difficult finding that tech talent for your startup?
Not at all, Iran. We've retained the same set of people from inception, but then going forward, we also have a projection for the next couple of months by the 1st of April, so that we cushion, of course, the reality of what's on ground. We can see it and we can see what people are doing. But we still have very great and amazing staff, and mentoring, it's very important. So it's important that you look at character. If you leave this company, you're going to go to another one. How are you making that exit? What measures are you putting in place? How are you speaking the language of exit and transition is very important. So we haven't really experienced that, but we also have kept a multi-level check to ensure that our businesses are not disrupted. So we have the internal tech team that works for us. But most importantly, we have also, we are talking and engaging an external company to sort of control and, of course, monitor what's going on internally. So there's an internal and external backup with that. For the external, it's more sustainable because you're dealing with a company, and the services is what you require. So for the internal, it's just more or less like, you know, so that's the measure we've put in place. And by April 1, the company will come on board as backup and working directly and integrating with the people in the office.
Oh, okay. Very, very interesting. So what I see is that you have this sort of two-tier or two-pronged approach to making sure that your product, your tech product, is well developed and is backed up and it's always up and running, and that, you know, obviously with the tech products, issues arise often, but you've basically have a plan A and a plan B and a backup to make sure that everything is covered. And of course, a lot of this goes back to that character that you mentioned, the integrity in character that basically maintains your team. Very interesting. And we're getting sort of a sense of how things are different between the two countries, Nigeria and Rwanda. Nigeria, as I said, is the biggest economy across Africa. And then we have Rwanda, small country with a population of 13 million people. So I want to see sort of what your thoughts are on your ecosystems. Shema, I want to go first to you. Can you tell us something about the startup scene in Rwanda, maybe beyond Rwanda, East Africa? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, in Rwanda, the ecosystem is obviously, it's a small country, as you rightly put it, and the ecosystem is evolving. It's still small, but evolving rapidly. Now, I'll just talk about two things. One, one of the competitive advantages that we have, and two, one of the challenge we face the most. In terms of benefits for Rwanda, it's easy to test and fail faster and then test again. So, I mean, you could do that. I mean, probably actually yesterday, just go back, the longest drive in Rwanda is, you know, from one point to another, it can just take you, what, 3 to 4 hours or so. So, I mean, it's very small. You can test things really quick and then fail faster and then try again. So when it comes to proof of concept and all that kind of stuff, the government processes things really fast. If you're looking for license and all that kind of stuff, I mean, relatively speaking. Now, the downside of, I mean, one of the challenges we face the most is access to capital. I mean, for me, at least, that's my interpretation of things. Because when you're raising money, obviously they look at Rwanda in terms of market. I mean, it's quite small. I mean, somebody from Nigeria that has a market of 200 million, and then you're talking about 13 million. it doesn't add up. So that's why obviously you see lots of VC money flowing into big markets, Nigeria, Kenya, or even South Africa. So these are bigger markets, what really developed, as opposed to Rwanda. So this is why one of the things we've learned is try and, you know, make your proof of concept really quick, but as you do that, think of expanding, because if you're thinking of raising ticket size of in terms of millions, then you've got to have a bigger market size. So that's what our ecosystem has been navigating. Obviously, we've got Kenya next within the East African community that's relatively bigger. You know, then you have Uganda and Tanzania that also kind of growing rapidly. But in a nutshell, that's what we're dealing with in terms of competitive advantage, but also in terms of challenges. Yeah.
And Zita, how is that for you? Very different context, very different market. Can you tell us a little bit about the startup scene in Nigeria? And maybe also, as yourself, what is it like being a woman founder in Nigeria?
It's very interesting, Iran. Initially, it was like it was a lone topic. Like literally, people didn't care less, couldn't care less, or they didn't even pay attention to the theory of startups. until the last few years, especially COVID and post-COVID, 2019, 2020. It's been really, really amazing and surprising to see what the startup market, is doing. So the startup scene is very interesting, and we've seen a lot of dynamic innovations coming up from Nigeria and of course from West Africa as well. But most importantly is the fact that women are beginning to pay attention to those startups. So a chunk of those startups that are available, call it from the health tech, from the ed tech, from the legal tech. Women are making waves and making an impact in that space, and it's very interesting. We have the right audience, and we have organizations and institutions that are very particular about women. I just went through one of the programs. One of the banks, Standard Chartered Bank, had something to do for women in technology, and it was really amazing to see the level of what they had in stock for women. So we have the market, we have the right audience for the products. Are you ready to do the work? If you are ready as a woman, the market is available for you.
Very, very interesting. And I can imagine this is very inspiring to a lot of other women founders, particularly in Nigeria, who are in the audience, who hear your story and hear about the commitment that you have to making your startup happen and making it grow when the market, as you said, is available and open to the building of these startups and these solutions that solve people's problems. Before I go to the sort of the end of our fireside chat, I want to see if there are any questions from the audience. So the audience, I would like to invite you, if you could add your questions in the Q&A, and we will get them and we will answer your questions. And while you are doing that, then I want to go back to Shema and Zita. Shema, can you, you've been part of our program, you're part of our cohort last year, as was Zita. And in the audience, we have other founders, but we also have the founders in our current cohort. And we also have founders who might be in our next cohort. So I wonder if you have any parting advice for these founders.
Yeah, one thing, if you ask me if I was to pick one thing, is something we discussed about I think a few days ago, which has proved to be really key, especially if you're building a startup, is focus on your network/partnerships. If you have a very broad network that cuts across pretty much different sectors, then it makes it easier. Because if there's one thing I've learned over the last few years that I've been in this business is I've come to realize people do not invest in ideas, they invest in people. So you can come up with any idea at any point in time, so it doesn't really matter. But if you have networks, people know you, that sort of, again, Zita talked about integrity, honesty, hard work, and all that kind of stuff. And you have people that know what you're doing, what you're all about, your values, then anything else pretty much becomes more or less easier. So focus on your network, build your network that cuts across in your country and other countries. It's just going to be key for you to grow.
Definitely. Zita, what about you? What is your parting advice for us? Let me repeat the question, Zita. What is your parting advice for us in the audience, other founders, our current cohort, our next cohort who might be in the audience?
Okay, Iran, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So one of the things I say to myself every day is, do you believe? Do you believe in your vision? Do you believe in in what you're building. I ask myself that question every day, and so when I have moments of doubt, I self-affirm myself. I talk to myself as often as possible. I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm an entrepreneur, I am a nurse, I am almost all in one. And so it's important for me to understand and continue to say to myself, yes, you are capable, in my moments of doubt. And I'd like to say to everyone listening to us, for the cohorts presently, how hungry were you when you started this program? And are you still hungry? It's just a question, food for thought. Are you still hungry? Were you hungry when you came on board? When we joined the HiiL Acceleration Program, we were very, very hungry for knowledge, hungry to learn, hungry, we had to empty ourselves. Everything that I knew in my entire legal journey, I had to put it aside and open myself to be well fed. And I tell you that I was fed by HiiL. And so with that, it was easier for us to commit to the implementation of the learning outcomes. Please do not attend this accelerator program. You go back home and it's business as usual. I failed a million times implementing the customer discovery approach, implementing the things I was taught in commercial strategy, implementing the output and outcome metrics. It was so difficult. Having to be very disciplined with my numbers and my books, it was really difficult. But I was committed. The entire business, the team were committed to working the journey, and then let's even see what it's like. And a year down the line, we are very, very happy. And I would also like to say that true justice really starts with yourself. It starts with me, and then by extension to the other person. And so be purposeful and be just enough to show up every day. Be purposeful with your spending. You're going to receive some grants. Some of the grants I received from HiiL, I still have a little bit of it. We have to be extremely disciplined and accountable to ourselves first before accounting to somebody outside. So be very disciplined with what you receive, your spending, and be even more deliberate and purposeful about your innovation. Once you are able to put all of this together, one step at a time, you will surely get there. Someday you will get there. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Definitely. Definitely. Words of wisdom. It is so wonderful for me to hear about your experience in the program. And, I always tell the founders at the beginning of the program, it really, the more work you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. That's the way it works. And I'm happy to see sort of the result of our program in you. I verify Zita's startup and Exus in Shema's startup. It is my pleasure to have this opportunity to bring you, Shema and Zita, back to the HiiL stage today and have this conversation with you to find out about where you're going and how it is going for you, and to hear from you what the lessons that you've learned along the way to share with us. Thank you for that. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this conversation, but particularly I want to tell the 2021 cohort, the folks that pitched today, that I look forward to seeing you on this stage at the next demo day. Now, that wraps up the Fireside Chat that we had today. I want to remind you that we have the startup booths and that you can go and check them out for the one-page executive summary of our startups, and where you can also rewatch the pitches if you missed them. And of course, message with the founders and submit your interest to have conversations with them afterwards. We have 9 tables in the lounge. The lounge is on top of your screen, where you can go and have stimulating conversations with people. Take a seat on the lounge, just like you would in a physical lounge in a way, and have a conversation with people talking about anything. There are topics, but there are also really fun ones where you can really get to know people much better. And you can, of course, switch between tables as well. Now, we're going to take 25 minutes for this to give you the opportunity to check out these lounges. And you are going to get another alert on the top right. That bell that I've been telling you about all day today is going to come on, and it will tell you about our final session of the day, where we will find out who the top 3 winners of the Innovating Justice Award 22 are. So enjoy the lounges, and I'll see you very soon in 25 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. I hope that you've enjoyed the conversations in the lounges and have made some meaningful connections that you can follow up with after today's session. Of course, remember that you can register your interest to connect with people following the event today. On your screens, you've also found out who the winners are for the most engaged participants. I want to thank Bashir Gitari, Sinal Gubender, and Siham Khanji for their participation in the event today and their active engagement. Of course, these winners also win 2 months of paid subscription to Masterclass, which is an e-learning platform. And Bashir, Sinal, and Siham, my colleagues, will be in touch with you about delivering the prize to you. Now, we are getting close to the end of our session and the big announcement of who the winners are. But before that, I want you to meet my colleagues in the different innovation hubs that we have, my colleagues in Kiev, Johannesburg, Lagos, Tunis, and Nairobi. And these are my colleagues who head the innovation hubs in their countries and also work closely with the startups and coach them and challenge them along the way. HiiL launched its first Innovating Justice Challenge in 2011 with the mission to find and accelerate the most promising technological and innovative solutions to justice problems that impact many aspects of our lives. Problems like dispute with neighbors, registration of property, custody battles, online fraud, access to identity in public services, and much more. 10 years on, we have accelerated 139 startups, run multiple programs for startups in different stages, and of course, run the Global Accelerator program, which provides tailored coaching, mentorship, training, and funding. We do this because in accelerating justice startups, millions of people are impacted. Their justice problems are prevented, or if they arise, they are resolved easily, effectively, and affordably.
To date, the justlers that have completed HiiL's Innovating Justice Challenge have improved the lives of more than 4 million people around the world. HiiL's Justice Accelerator has shown that data-driven work, knowledge on best practices, combined with social entrepreneurs that think outside of the box, can impact the justice sector immensely. We work closely with our R&D department and their data. The justice needs and satisfaction surveys they produce identify countrywide what the justice problems are that people face in their everyday lives and how they deal with them. And with this immense data dashboard, we are able to scout and help grow the next generation of justice startups that help people to prevent or resolve their justice problems. And this has a huge social and economic benefit and helps people to get on with their lives. The 16 innovators you've heard today at Demo Day might well be the next game changers.
I think justice innovation is a great way how to add value to society.
Justice innovation opportunities are everywhere. They're touching all areas of our life, society, economy, everything. Look around you.
It's an opportunity to focus, to put the lens on the end person, the human being who is facing an injustice.
What we need is the opportunity for visionary people to deliver great solutions for what are really wicked problems that need solving.
It provides that community, that support that is able to, back up certain entrepreneurs that have decided to go on this journey to provide access to justice for people.
I think Justice Accelerator propelled hundreds of startups, and they're creating lots of value, impacting millions of people in Ukraine.
As we look back on the 2021 Accelerator cycle on Demo Day, we also look forward to finding the next generation of game changers. So today we launch the 2022 Innovating Justice Challenge, searching for startups across the Middle East and Africa. Do you want to join us in solving people's most pressing justice problems? If you think that you are the next game changer in the justice sector, then apply before the 30th of March. And if you are in the pre-acceleration stage, we have something for you as well. Make sure to check out the programs run by your regional innovation hub to find out more. Okay, you've just heard me say that our call for applications for the 22 Innovating Justice Challenge is now open. So you can head to our website now, those of you in the audience who are thinking about joining us for the next cycle, to go and register and check out the application form. And you have until the end of March to submit your applications. If you have any questions, please do feel free to contact me. My email will be in the chat box. It's just my name, iran.huffles@hiil.org. Now, we're getting close to that moment, but first, I want to invite my colleague, Saif Kabil. Saif is the portfolio manager at the Justice Accelerator, and he had the task of facilitating the deliberations with our 3 judges. Saif?
Hi, Iran. Thank you, and hello, everyone. First off, I want to thank Jackie, Duncan, and Joseph for bringing such a unique and seasoned perspectives on this year's cohort. We've had a really intense hour of deliberations covering everything from revenue and pricing to customer base and go-to-market strategy. Since decisions on the top 3 startups need to be unanimous, a key part of the deliberation process involves all 3 judges trying to synthesize their views and convince one another. This year in particular, a lot of the conversations centered on financial sustainability, especially when it comes to ventures that target a low-income or marginalized customer base. But now enough about the deliberations. We've kept you all in suspense for long enough. So Iran, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Saif. Now, I want to invite Jackie Naktakal, one of our jury members, to the stage to tell us a little bit about this 3rd place winner and tell us who the winner is.
Thank you, Iran. Well, I'm happy to announce that the 3rd place winner is Legal Ascent and Veronique. Congratulations, Veronique. We were so impressed by your presentation, and we really believe that you are providing a lot of impact in a time of tremendous trauma. There's a lot of advice we could give you on how to scale it and how to reach bigger audience.
Veronique, is Veronique able to join us?
Yes, I'm joining.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Veronique and the Legal Ascent team.
Thank you
How are you
so
feeling?
much. I'm feeling great. I'm really feeling great, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for the confidence, because this is really just validating once again what we are doing is really going to make impact, and it is making impact, and I really appreciate this platform. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank you. And thank you, Jackie. Now, let's go to our 2nd place winner. I want to invite Joseph Nyam, our other jury member, to join us to tell us who the 2nd place winner is.
Great. Hi, Iran. Thanks. And 2nd place, congratulations, Firas. At getting the 2nd place, Civitas was pretty impressive as it hit so many different points in terms of scalability. And what we look is impact as well as financial scalability. And what we really liked is the combination in terms of impact, in terms of the depth, breadth, and addressability of the impact. The scarcest resource is time, especially in a world of accelerating divides on everything. And you've scaled how time in aggregate can be saved for so many people that can get on with so many other ways of helping themselves in every other way. The success you've had in terms of reducing a lot of time and having, I don't think anyone from any emerging market will not recognize the need for saving administrative time and how little goes in. But from a financial perspective, the amount of money you're saving government, NGO, and corporates on budgets, as well as individuals, in terms of how much money you're saving them, not just in the opportunity cost of other things they could be doing, but in terms of the cost of dragging admin for 4 or 5 days instead of 4 or 5 hours, I think is what we look for in terms of pivot points where small, smart, subtle areas can have an amplified impact. So congratulations and wishing you the best of success, and look forward to staying in touch and seeing how we can help you scale that up. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Firas, congratulations to you and the Civitas team.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really happy, actually, not just excited. I have been stressed the whole day. I even felt a bit of stress from the question in the questions in the Q&A. But I'm really happy that the judges saw what we really did. We actually started small in our local municipality. We saw that they have a lack of resources and a lack of resource management, and we fought that and we made it, and then we saw that it is duplicable and that we can share costs between every administration that do the same thing, and it works. Thank you so much for recognizing this.
Thank you, Firas. Thank you. And now let's go and find out who the top winner of the Innovating Justice Award is. I want to invite Duncan Onyango to tell us who the winner is.
Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm so delighted to be announcing who the winner is. And the winner is, where are the drum rolls? Where are the drum rolls?
Oh, the suspense, Duncan.
The winner is, we're going for a break right now. Okay, let's start again. The winner for this year's competition is THR Media.
Wow.
Well done,
wonderful,
well done, guys.
Wonderful,
well done.
Congratulations to Osasu and the team. Can you tell us a little bit about them, Duncan?
Yeah, we were, as judges, we are impressed by the fact that you are tackling a problem, a global problem, a problem that presents, for those, the victims, actually, it's a real and present danger to their lives. This is a problem that has been made worse, by the pandemic, because of the fact that it has exploited those fragilities that exist in our social structures, in our infrastructure, in our countries. And you've taken the time to actually think through that. We like the way you've addressed the issue of impact, not just in terms of the number of people that you're trying to reach, that's the breadth, but also in terms of the improvement in their well-being through the solutions that you have put in place. And then taken that and linked that to your revenue model, where you've got a good mix of income potential, which we believe will actually ensure that you've got a sustainable model to keep supporting, to keep addressing this particular problem. So well done. Congratulations. You deserve it. And we're, as judges, we are behind you. Congratulations, Sana, Osasu and team.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I always mention, I'm going to do like I'm receiving an award from the, right? And I'm going to say, thank you, Odrun. Thank you, Kelechi, because and Nadine and Iran, because every time I came here, there was this mix of guilt Like, why are we charging women who are going through GBV? But we found the balance. We found a way to stay sustainable. And it's just a delight to know that we're winning this beyond the emotion that is gender-based violence, but actually seeing that people really know that this is a need, and this is, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Wonderful, wonderful. And with that, we conclude our demo day, the 2022 demo day for the Innovating Justice Challenge. I want to thank all of our founders who pitched today. I want to thank you, the wonderful audience, for joining us today and for being a part of this event. But I also want to thank my colleagues, the team that has been here in front of me, that has been working very hard to put this event together. My colleague, Nadine Hafez, I want to thank her. She is the woman behind this wonderful event. And on behalf of my colleagues in Johannesburg, in Nairobi, in Lagos, in Tunis, and in Kiev, I wish you a good evening, and I'll see you next year, February 15th, 2023, for the next demo day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.